theme yami lapho. Study sami is on rape perpetration, why singamadoda rape. Xa nisithi why singamadoda ndifaka wonke umuntu because we're not saying anything thina abantu abathi hayi andizenzi nezonto. You understand? So we are part of it. And amaxesha amaninzi uyakwazi ukwenziwa ngubra wakho.
Watitiel unongala ngasemlanjeni.
Eyo. Molweni bantu abahle. Igama lam ndinguvuyiseka Maguga, also known as a love child, and these are Ekhaya conversations right here on Ekhaya sessions. Today ndihleli neBuddha. Kudala usiza futhi. Kudala usiza Tabora. Simansi
postpone. Halide lafika usuku.
Halide lafika. And we hear igama lakhe nguBongani Malahle.
Yeah.
Ijoli inkomo.
Yava ke ngo.
Kunjani?
Kuhle mntasa man. Akho nix. Siyavuya sivukile iCovid babulela abantu. Sorry ngoqala kuloo ndawo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we happy sivukile and ayiyo nento ba mhlambi is special. It's just nje sivukile into bana thina sikhona, and I think also it's connected to a purpose. Not kanti khona. You understand? Mhlambi emveni kwayo, what then do we think ngathi, what do we need to do, intoni esizawuyenza ne promises esizenzayo noba ke siyaxoka sometimes. But going forward, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. You are a multi-instrumentalist. I think the first time I saw you, not even met you, it was, I think, 2016, 2017, but I just bought myself a guitar. So I used to go to KwaMzuko, because back then. I used to go to KwaMzuko, and you came there with Enyi Grotmane to rehearse. And back then, Ilenduka, I had so much love for In Your Soul. And you were one of the first people that actually I saw, like, abantu that I could touch. And yo, In Your Soul it's not something epark with there. It's something that's here.
Ayikhumbuli too. And has ne Neo Soul. I've heard bakukhinto kuthiwa Neo Soul. Yeah, it's, but I guess because how I think of music and what I think of music, it's another way of storytelling.
Yes.
So for abantu abanyambileyo abafana nami abangakwazi uthetha, it's then easier to say amagama nge-notes. Yeah.
I was gonna say, but I've always wanted to sit down with an instrumentalist, but I don't know. I'm actually thinking and so that means I'm gonna have to and it needs to take them and into upper kubo so that bafike and speak about their craft. So first question, I wanna know, when and how did you meet music?
Hey, love child. I think it was 1992. Kwakwikwayara apha ereni kwakuthiwa yisiya phambili phaya ebesuthwini ngakwacitha ibhunga. Eyi. Kwakupractice-wa sasithanda isoka. I wasn't even good nakwisoka, ndingumntu nje ndiliquthu. So but sithanda uhlala sime namajita ekonini kumnandi. Arthur, Uluya Namatope.
Oh yeah.
We grew up together. So baya practicing this. So bayile a day before, 2 days before. So bayaphinda baya. Ikuse iza entweni emculweni hayi thina emculweni. But I went and I liked into esenzeka pha. Si practice kumnandi. Nam I became part. Saqala ngoko. So saqala kwi group, it was a gospel group, like local gospel group, not eyenkonzo kwakuthiwa isiya phambili. Sikhona ke nezinye. I think in 91, 92. And that's when I sort of discovered uthando nalo for music. And it was an easy space for me to express myself kakhulu.
Sure.
As I said, ngizinyabele so kulula
uzithulele man sokuthi unyaka.
kulula hayi ndifuna usebenzisa amagama is kulula ku-music because you just say le nto ufuna uyithetha ngendlela ufuna uyithetha ngayo. Yeah.
So what was that one thing oqondayo ba okay this is what made me fall in love with music in that space, like when you walked in Payan and then na practice uphuma kwakho, what was that one thing oqondayo ba hey this
No,
thing.
zininzi into ezenzekayo just ngosuku oluyi-1 there was a lead lady phaa kwakuthiwa nguPamela Mbombela, ngumntu ongisisi if uyayibukela ndicela uxola ndimazi igama lakhe lo mzi. She was the lead vocalist. I wayentswimpu.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, ndiyabona ucula lewe yalo sisi but ndingumjita. But iharmony nobunye because as I said, is a space there about storytelling, but it becomes nicer when there's quite a lot of people who agree with the person ongaphambili ngendlela yombhekisha. And I was fascinated by that as well. And also listening to individuals eziculayo while we're trying to blend. But you could hear into yobana hayi ngubani lo. And how as we try to be one, however there is defend kwakuthi. And this one doesn't fascinate, and I was like, this is what I need to do. I actually said it earlier. I remember I did my matric in 1994. Fika phaa edlaleni kuse hey mna ndibawela ukwenza umculo. Hayijonga ke xa lapha nawe uchayiwe. Uzokwenza umculo hayi yaboniswa. Umuntu ekwaku andithi ke kwako wrong ekhaya because indlela babecinga ngayo made sense to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Umuntu wabanelakhi or who was maybe blessed ngugulu yanda. Because mama wakhe was like, yes boy, ungumntu onjani, yes boy, do it. And she actually bought him a keyboard. Casio engaki. So yeah.
Yeah. And then how long did it take you? Because after matric, ekhaya khange kuvunywe. So how long did it take you to actually go back to school? And what was it that made you give up, ungapheleli pha ba okay, akuvunywanga endlini and it ends there?
No, a part of me had sort of given up, and that part of me sort of died with that decision that was taken by Endling. So I thought it had died. So if lop ke ibangathi uyathwasa, I don't know. So metric pass wasn't good at all. Because already sending it cheek. Because kumulante iqala ngo-91, 94. So it was like 3 years later, 4 years later, or 2 years. Sendi phakathi. So there was that rebellious child in me that was saying, if you're not allowing me to do this, then I'm not going to do lento niyifunayo. Which of course iyabane consequences delays. But ke umntu had to try, then dazama uyofuna I think kuthiwa i-B college ngoku, i-Russell Road College, ndizama ulanduka ukupasa kahle. I ended up doing a financial management board and sense accounting esikolweni. And then I worked after that, I think for 2 years as a wine steward, a restaurant, kwenye restaurant apha eSamastream. Then I went to Joburg. Ndayofunda kwisikolo kuthiwa iFuba School of Music. Yeah, 2 years of a 3-year degree course. Third year I couldn't go back. For sure zimali. Uduri ndawuhlala eGauteng. And imali encinci ndiyiseyivile yaphela, ku 3 months yokuqala yaphela. And I remember bendifonela besithi ikhona imali for uba mandibuyele, but ibhatala tuition. It means andizoba nandawo yohlala. And already frustrated kakhulu. So there were other things, ezinye dynamics ezinye izinto ezisenzeka endlini ezasenza into yobana kufuneka ndifune umsebenzi. So yeah, I stayed from 2003 onwards ukuza nganeno ndahlala ndaphangela as a petrol attendant for I think for 6-7 years. Yeah, hating my job with passion. And ake ungandivika kakubi andithi there's anything wrong with that job.
No, definitely. I think it's what I speak about kundifuna ukuviwa, where I say, so I decided to throw in the towel. And little did I know I was suffocating my soul. And I started to get a 9 to 5. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong
with
it, but I learned a lot. And zonke zazinto that I learned kula 9 to 5, zezinto that I'm applying them in my daily music journey.
Yeah.
So I think it was necessary for you to be there, and I think La Hate made you work hard so that was and actually go back to doing something that you love.
Yeah.
So and then when you got back to music, how was, like, where were you in your life? Like, I wanna know the transition from being frustrated and actually falling in love again with music and saying, okay, you know what, I'm gonna give this thing a chance.
I think the regret or whatever came of i-decision yayikhona ngokuya endandicinga into eyenzekayo apha kum in terms of ukuthi man music andikwazi ufollowa ndinomsindo ndine-anger. It was more an idea than a thing happening, because music is every day. So you listen to radio, you sing, kubakho ingoma, you write down lyrics, you understand, and you would call someone and say, I have something. So there was a group that we formed in 2003 when I came back. Okuthiwa yi-Ubuntu abahlobo kwingoma. Sisekhona nango, but we were mainly doing a gospel. Yayingamajita aqala, but ngoku ke kwabakho Malahle. Malahle, they are part of that. One of them, Lowe Soprano, is part of that. So we're still together. Ndizawubhekishwa ngabo. Glasho ndizaba nayo. So ukubone a situation where you like into ayikho but into ikhona. It was never gone. It was with me. Njengoba ndihamba ndikhona. Njengoba ndisethi petrol egarage ndiyacula. Bakuthe gqi ingoma ndiyacula. Loo nto ithi gqi. Kubakho ke ne-work ngombelwe ndipha
to keep the spirit
alive. To keep the spirit and omnye umuntu uqonde ufuna ntona, but I'm hearing things, I'm listening to things, and kukho laa nto into yobana umculo is saying to me, ucinga wena, like undikhupha ishore uba ucinga wena undiyekile uyadlala. And it was that. So okoko ke ngoku kugunjwa coming kule direction ukuza nganeno, and there were other things ke ezenzekayo konde man umuntu uyafuna usebenza because nale nto inida imali. So umuntu had to take a decision yokuthi let me go back to school, akho mntu uzandibulala. Then I did my first year ngo 2011, but it wasn't music ke ngoku. I was doing ezinye izinto ezidibene ne-counseling. So 2011 coming okoko, I think the last graduation go 2019 because of delays ke research nezinye izinto. But the idea was that xa ndigqiba le into, this is going to feed le into.
It's what I like to say in Ditiba, it's when a side hustle feeds the main hustle.
The main one, So ilapho, and ke ngoku there is no turning back.
So
phakathi naphakathi. There is no turning back.
Tell me, the type of sound, I don't know, mhlawumbe jazz or okanye, I don't know, and there's how to describe it, because also I think ingqondo yami has always been, I don't like boxing people. I don't, andifuni xa uphinde mhlawumbe ndibane nawe usenze hip hop ndifuna siba tabora benga jazz artist ngoku. No, I don't like to do that. So I want you to define your music, define your sound to me.
I still, I do not understand the concept of defining a sound,
Okay.
kakhulu, because there's quite many facets of one. Omnye umntu angabuza into yobana Love Child ungumntu onjani, but Love Child xa lapha ku-Ekhaya sessions, she's another person. Xa phaa esenza sound, she's another, and she's allowed to be that. So storytelling also comes in different genres or whatever we. Loo nto ndiyifilishayo ngelo xesha.
That time.
Ndiyakhumbula laa ngxolo sasiyenza apha one time. Omnye umntu angathi ingathi kuyombelwa nokombelwa kwenzeka ntoni. The next thing siyathukisa ba hayi. Kwenzeka le and abanye abantu it makes sense for them to color code umculo. Let me use elogam because for them they then make meaning of what they are hearing. And it becomes very difficult because for me busebenzisa igama lithi ku boxa sound. Now for me it just it khona igama elifuna usebenza qha kwalisebenzisa ndilibele. But igcinezela if child yam, let me rather say it like that. Because if my child is free, then my child can run, my child can walk, my child can crawl, my child can cry, because they are only able to express themselves ngaloo ndlela. So, andizazi uba ndiculophi umculo, I'm not gonna lie, but I always explain it ngokuthi it's more African music that has influences the Xhosa folklore, if there is such, into ezinamabali. Even though ndingabalisi mabali, but if you listen to the lyrics, like, hey, ingathi uyabalisa lo mzi, ithini le nto yakhe. So yeah, because ndikhule nomakhulu kamnandi I understand that. Sasibaliselo. So indlela yami yobalisa wamamabali. Yeah.
Oh wow. So where you are, Goku, what do you think is our role as artists to the society? Because there's a lot that enzekayo now. There's a lot that is exposed. Because I feel like ezizinto kudala zabakhona, like rape kudala zabakhona, same sex marriages kudala zabakhona, abuse kudala zabakhona. It's just that na ukumonelana, ukufumanise ba people hate you for no reason, people hate that you started something. Ezo zinto zokudala zabakhona qha back then bezisemfihlakalweni. And now with social media and the so-called freedom of what ufumanisa ba abantu baya expressa izinto noba offensive to other people. So what do you think is our role as the artist in a society enjalo?
Higher grade, super great question. Artists have always been abantu who are part of a struggle. Now, I was born in the 70s, so I grew up in a family where ngelaxesha kakhulu ngonke-80s kwaku-UDF. UDF nentoni and so ngoba izinto ze-politics. I-UDF nezinye ke. I didn't know much about the ANC, but there was ASAPO, there was, and there were those politics ezazikhona, but you'd find behind ezizinto zezi politics, there was a bigger thing that was sort of oppressing others for their skin color. And guess who played a big role in fighting that? Abangarecognizwayo for their role. Abantu abarecognizwayo kakhulu, it is those mhlambi abathi I side with this political ideology. But the artists were there. I was listening to Mom Miriam Makeba and the songs that she sang in the 50s. how she would say, mna ndiyahamba eGoli because akukho mnandi, and when you would think the song speaks of intlalo, just intlalo, but speaks of the power behind intlalo yabantu abamnyama. Okanye, what's the other song? Zininzi man ingoma.
Yeah.
But artists have always had la role of addressing social ills, social institutions. Into ezifana ne udla ngothiwa patriarchy. I always think patriarchy has a role to mold or to groom or to make abantu abekuthiwa ngamadoda, like imatriarchy, abantu abangomama. I would never speak to umuntu ongumama ngoncancisa because I do not understand. So imatriarchy is there for that. But kukho into ekuthiwa toxic masculinity in that space or in these spaces. There is toxic femininity, I do not know. But toxic masculinity then is fake as part of, this is my belief, I'm not saying, is fake, and then go interpret with the whole idea of being male or female or whatever role you need to play with society. Or you understand? Kuthiwe ababantu, because Ekhaya says since, because Bongani uhleli phaya. Guys, abe uBongani ezenoburabisi bakhe basebesuthi uxolo ngothukisa. So ngothukisa. So I guess umculo has always really khumbula khona ingoma ethi kaBrenda Fassie ethi not to promises weekend special umzekelo. But if you listen to the lyrics, ithetha ngento bana andikho ngezinye insuku, but you understand, and you'd find that's a form of abuse to the person. Kukumdegrade, I use you, I use you for this.
For them during the week.
So you are actually my weekends, and they were addressing ezinto. There's quite a lot of things abantu abebethetha ngazo. It's just that I can't think of specific songs ngoku, or mhlambi plays that were nakwi-films, like nakwi-short films ezisenziwa. They were addressing izinto ngendlela ezithile. So the ikhona ingoma bendisanda uyazi ngoku, ikhona ingoma kaChico, we miss you Manelo, where are you? Actually it was saying we miss you Mandela, and I was like now Manelo, and I've never heard of igama elungumanelo until ngoku andikaphinde ndive kuthiwa umuntu ongumanelo. So art is another form of fighting social institutions, social ills, or bringing izinto ezifana ne-peace to the fore. Ibe zizinto that get appreciated and abantu baconforme kuzo as a way forward. So irole yethu, question yakho, irole yethu is to say aluta continua. We because khumbula ngo-1990, 94, 93, 91, but into the apartheid, they were banned, but his struggles are still there. Abantu they're still andithethi ke ngento ezifana unemployment, sendithetha ngezinto uthetha ngazo. Ii-rapes zazikhona, fika umalume umuntu ongumalume, and amaxesha amaninzi, in fact kwi-research you'd find abantu who get to be victims of rape ayingobantu abangabaziyo ababenza izinto kubo, ngabantu ababaziyo. So nezinye ke social ills ezikhona, and you'd find abantu they then would find indawo zocopa or indawo zo-escape, and mhlawumbe ezo ndawo they've sort of now become normal. And I'm not saying ke kukho into wrong, like umzekelo, we know into bana siyasela. But there was a time when I drank from Monday to Monday as a coping, as a way you cope. Every day. And it made sense to me. Until then, later, where I realized, man, most the sortilers in the kum. ndisesikolweni ndi-aplayile for isikolo got accepted and yasuka yaphela nje yasuka yaziyekela and ke for sure the help of God uba has really assisted me mhlawumbi wena undazi ngunangxela kwesirhanga ndandisele ndirhuqa abantu bakule rhanga bachazela yhu lo mntu and abanendibana nabo bakhuze koku yhu bora what happened bra hey awutshintshile hey because wawuswele urhuqa singakwazi but then ikhona into ethi umuntu ayengowakho and truly umuntu ayengowakho because ngoku fundeni kukho Ekhaya sessions buyajonga phaa kukho ilanga so we going beyond ilanga and zizawukwenzeka izinto and we are still alutha continuing.
Are you going there? Because I think, you know, when I started with Ilenduka Ekhaya sessions, because initially it was just me trying to cope because of COVID-19 in my bedroom before I actually moved up in this backyard. And I discovered that a lot of people that come here, ngabantu that bamhlawumbe umuntu is going through whatever because we must understand that singaba bahle sithintini but zikhona nje izinto that we are going through that we don't want to talk about but when we come to spaces like this ufumans ba it's a space sicocekile sinothando you feeling athi usekhaya and when you sit here and listen to whoever that is on stage ufumans ba yo I don't know,
you know.
So I think in a society in Jalo, Tina as artists, we need to create that for people.
Yeah.
And in so doing, we need also to be able to heal ourselves. Because Kaloku, how can I give you love, Dinga?
Yeah.
Dinga kwazi ufumana utando. So meaning I need to find utando so that I can be able to give utando out there. So with the rate of, because I think I've seen a lot of artists that die, okay, that pass away because of they're not coping.
Yeah.
Yabo. And then our art forms should heal us first before
they heal abanye abantu.
Sihilishe. So xa usocinga mhlawumbi inoba iphosakala phi?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna start phaa phezulu. Remember I said there were politicians and there were other people who were fighting against a system or the systems that were there before. And there's a group of people, abazi artists, they never even left, but they were fighting abroad. No mama, the couple, no tata, but they were still fighting because they were singing about I think if we can be given enough space by those who are in power, remember as way they need imali, so that we could have more of Ekhaya sessions. I session ingabi Sunday qha, but uyayazi noba there's a Thursday session apho kukho spoken word dance umzekelo. Tuesday there's umzekelo gospel. Saturday uyazi ba mhlawumbe there's a big name that comes through, and have ezo spaces zinjalo and kubekho multiplication of Ekhaya sessions, angabikho only apha but abekho na kwezinye indawo na rural areas for artists, and as one they really require money, like ezinye projects if xa kuthiwa itha ayikho then kufuneka imali, then kukhutshwa imali, abantu they do that. There's one thing that you mentioned, go abantu, they, one of their roles is to heal abantu, and but also nabo they need to be healed and they need to feel love. Ikhona enye iterm esetyenziswayo ethi xa kuthethwa ngabantu who are in this space sohilisha abantu kuthiwa they are wounded healers. They are wounded themselves. Think of a war and kudutyulwa abantu and you see your fellow comrade lying down and because you don't want them to die uthathe kule bandage yakho khumbula nawe udutyulwe unenxeba uthathe kule bandage yakho ufake isikere uphinde uzibophe and you go urhuqe you make that laa mntu abe kulaa nto kuresuscitate and then umbeke kwindawo safe you go back you fight. You understand? Because the one thing is is that we are fighting against, but we're fighting to survive as well. And not just me, but also for my fellow comrades. So a fellow comrade could be just another person, but also another fellow artist. You understand? So we have a tendency, Getina, you're unlike when because when you open the platform and you invite anyone and everyone. Nabantu abangaziwayo. It's the first place endize kuyo ndingaziwa as mhlawumbi ke wena bondazi ndazocula. I've been trying ke kwezinye indawo. I remember sometimes words can heal but sometimes words can kill. I remember kukho kusweleke bukhe wathetha ngayo siyamdebela.
Oh yeah.
There was ilanduka yakhe memorial service apha eZwide ekupholeni because ndikhule naye okanye ndimdalana ke kunosiyamdebela so we wanted to Usiyamdebela was working with a band.
Yeah.
So we wanted to at least do something, 1 or 2 songs. So someone had organized something. So we saw an opportunity and abantu bebezoqala I think ngo-5 thina saya ngo-4. And bakhona abantu abakhoyo sathi sicela ucula. And hayi culani. And I think we're the only people abacula like 8 songs. We did 8 of my songs. Because Usia was a true musician, but a fellow human being.
Sure.
When you think of Usia, he loved people. He loved music, but he loved people. He didn't just see musicians or artists. He saw abantu, whether you were an artist, if udibene noSiya, you would never be the same because you would feel love. Uqala udibana naye. And one of the people bebemthanda uSiya, I loved that guy. I can easily say that. Inkosikazi yam, he loved him. Akazange wahlala 3 minutes with him. Wathi ndiyamthanda lo bhuti. He has a beautiful spirit. So we were there to say goodbye, to celebrate his music. Yeah, and it was a beautiful session. We sang most ke artists zalapha eBhayi ezikhona zazingekafiki. So they started coming in. Sabe sesigqiba because at least we had done like 8. So 8 is like 45 minutes engaqhelwayo. And the person that was sort of umntoza like ba sisithethe okay yeah they said something eyandophula umphefumulo but ndaphinda ndaqonda hayi man mhlawumbi abazimamelanga. So as artists were coming in, they said, okay, we need to thank the people of Bebekhona, but please wait a bit longer because true artists have just come in. Abandoned Bazi. And I was like, I was broken. And this person is a respected person, and I also respected him. Because I knew him through C. And I was like, but is this guy listening to himself?
Yeah.
You understand? So, angomdufane atabateke zizinto. And I thought about this. You know that we say, sometimes they really would heal or kill. So that's one of the things that Sizenzile as musicians. So what I would say about you, whether I say it on social media or even to you, I need to understand yintoni le nto ndithethayo? Is it something that I would like
To be said apart
to be
from-
said apha kum as a person before you think of me as a musician? So think of the term ebendiyisebenzisa, a wounded healer or a wounded killer. Ngenxeba ninenxeba then ndikubulale.
You hurt people. You.
So sine role enkulu. We need to look up as being and understand who we are, what we are going through, but then not project that onto others. But make it mission yethu into yobana i-role or i-purpose esizenayo is to do this as musician. Because i-role art is such a big thing, a huge role into creating a history as about different when abantu in 50 years time when they look back abazawuthi hey what am I sis love child okay ke bephambana qha hey phambene right sayilone grand
Ngakhona.
yeah esiya ngakhona. Remember I said something ndithetha into ezininzi ke apha nalapha when uthethe ngo-COVID and i-COVID yanifrustrator. I said COVID was such a really bad period because a bad time apha ebantwini because there's quite a lot of people who passed away. But wounded healers still came off Ekhaya sessions where because Ekhaya sessions is here to stay again. Sorry if kukingcali ezithi Ekhaya sessions unfortunately sisiqalo sento ezinkulu ku-blind. And because it is beyond you, you were frustrated, but it is beyond you. It is. I-purpose ke comrade zakubamba le way. I-purpose would make you hate me.
Yeah.
Okay, ngubhuti wami ndiyamazi siyazalana but if asihlangani and mna ndime phambi kwe-purpose yakho then akho need uba ndibese elifini yakho. Ngoku sizazi into yobana ikhona into eyi-common ground, you understand? And you will make quite a lot of enemies nge-purpose ungakhange ucinga into uzakwenza because unfortunately purpose is going to drag you kwi-direction engasoze ibe yiyo le yabanye abantu because we all have his stories zethu and his stories zethu zi-different and I'm not going to tell i-stories sasebesuthwini ngendlela yasemagxaki. So unfortunately ke comrades lekubambe lalanga nguwe nelalanga whether they give you money or they do not give you money kamnandi uqhube ingekho le mali waphuma erumini wazongena kule ndawo andiyazi buza yaphi emveni kwale ndawo because mhlawumbi saba yindawo ye-VIPs le siyodlala phathi napha esitratweni for abantu nje bambalwa abathile bazazodlala apho we don't know. So but do know this is beyond you. When are you talking of frustrations of COVID? Sometimes kwenzeka into ezithile kushift into ezithile for into yoba kwenzeke into ezithile. And it's unfortunate that abantu baswelekile but it was njengoba bekusenzeka izinto la shift bekuthiwa hayi ke ungasiqheli noko sondela so that's benobonakala nathi.
Sure. Yo, let's talk about your music. You are going to have your first show.
Yeah.
Why did it take you that long?
Because I've always kumbula the fascination your music was with harmony and being part of, and I guess nam ke njengawe. This has always been in my mind. I need to do my own thing, but kuthe koba khole move nam I was like, man, because abanye abantu abafumaneki and sileqwa ngamapolisa abasethi sawupractice, so let me just do le nto yam. Ndizibiza uBongani umculi, and that could be equivalent to into yoba Bongani the vocalist for abanye abantu abanamagama abhetere. I prefer ukuzibiza ngolo hlobo. I don't know why I chose elo gama, but for me it makes sense. Bongani Malahle, I could have used that, but I'm also using that as a counselor. Don't want to confuse him.
Oh yeah.
You understand? Kule ndawo ndiphangela kuyo kuBongani Malahle, who is a counselor. Xa ndiphuma phaa okanye xa ndizawuzenzela into yam as a private person or a private person in business, kule nto ndizawube ndiyenza ndizawuba nguBongani Malahle doing le nto ndiyenzayo. Then ndifuna kubekho laa distinction so that ungathi uBongani Malahle mnye maqondile. Okay, uBongani Malahle, amani ndiyamazi wenza into ethile. I'm talking about uBongani Malahle or ngumntu oyi-one, but he does, no. So I use uBongani umculi. And my show is on the 7th of May, Mendi Arts Center. So the show, what I did, for 3 hours, I don't know, because the one, nala group Ubuntu. But I thought about it and was like, okay, let me try do it 3 hours. Remember at this stage, I use it to tell his stories. Nobody, you can't know So in a segment or in a bubbles. So the first bubble speaks of a man from Ekhaya. Then umchita falls in love lawa amachita. Then umchita uyageza. Ufumene uthando ajika gezela uthando. And he ends up losing uthando. I think there was a song wakhe waiva then sitting ndisayenza ndisayipheka. The last part of it is that he ends up losing this person amthandayo, and he sing ucela uxolo nje spacing because akaphinda amfumane laa mntu nangona sowuhambile wathathwa emazweni lixolele uyazi ucela uxolo kuye ke ngoku for yena not for umuntu wangekho into. So for me that theme is we never need to take uthando for granted, because abanye abantu they give you your time and they give you your love for a reason. Sure. And when because steering go and then you lose. And I also need to understand Klambi, there's quite a lot of us because some of the songs, EPCs in those songs are my experiences, and you find that you know that you missed out, but sometimes umoshile. Because abanye abantu they end up now hating, or they end up feeling endlele ezithile because they came across you and you did not give them ixesha, you know. And now I've been through kakhulu like everyone else. So it's that. The second one, Ibabel, is to say thank you to those who came before us. Abebeyenza and remembering abantu abaswelekileyo, abantu abafana no Siya Mdebele, abantu abafana no Tata lo sandosweleke guitarist, the international guy yalapha eNew Bright, uTata Lawrence Machiza, and a whole lot of others abaswelekileyo nge-COVID, but nabanye ke before us. You understand? But also not forgetting, because there's a song that I need to sing pha ndiyazi uba ndingayenza njani. Umakhulu wam, uMamtipa, notamkhulu wam, uJohn. Ithetha ngokombela, ekhaya besiqhela ukombela. And as much as I spoke about apho iqale khona, kulapho iqale khona formally, informally iqale ekhaya, because ekhaya bekubakho imisebenzi. Kuculwa kusombelwa, and it was a really great, you would enjoy that, and as I know they are internalized, so they live apha kungaphakathi. Hence sometimes kubakho ezanto nje espacing because zilanduka zilapha kubo. Third bubble yalando speaks towards GPV is real. Njengoba abanye abantu becimba bubudoda okurape, it's actually gender-based violence. It's part of gender-based violence, and being physical, nezinye abuses ezikhona towards abantu, whether it's children or abantu abakhulu or amanye amadoda or abanye abantu abacinga different or who feel different to you, then
you choose to abuse them.
Do you have a right?
Just because
they are different to you. Kubano kunika right. You understand? So it speaks to that. So I think I'm doing 4 or 5 songs there that I also wrote. One story, iti madoda masiyeke ukwenza izinto madoda masiyeke ubulala abantu abangomama, siyeke udlwengulwa abantwana, siyeke yonke loo nto leyo. Esibini ilibale ngathi ngusister wam. So endlini yakhe, especially xa kupeyiwe, she comes home, ubeleka abantwana umqhuthwasi ukhatyiwe umbi. Actually la magama ngamagama endiwacule engomeni. Every time kupeyiwe endlini yakho you come umqhuthwasi ubeleka abantwana ufike, and I wrote that song for someone else, but ipurpose yayo is to address le nto. It's my song because ndiyibhalile, but it is for someone. So I'm trying to address. But zonke zangoma, they are saying, bunozimamela, madoda masiyeke. I'm trying to, because zikhona into engisezikhoyo ngoku ku-SABC ezithetha ngento yobana enye into engeso ngento yoba ubani bendla ngombona, okay, sometimes wake wayiqhwaba le girlfriend yakhe, and how thina i-silence yethu kwi-situations ezifana neziya side sibe sithi amana ayindifuni, how those would sort of make an opportunity for one to die. Because if benqandile bekuzawuxatyana nami iphele weyini, kanti kuzawufa umntu. And femicide is something, femicide kukubulawa kwabantu abangomama for any reason. It's something that's real. So I'm trying to address that, and I'm saying thina madoda, I'm not going to count myself out, because I might be killing abantu ngamagama endiwathethayo. Chazela I'm actually serious. There was, and I'm sorry for saying, there was a lady sometime back, I think in 2017, the counselor, she was told, okay, there were things as senzeka ngokwabo. One of the things eyambulalayo, which made her to be psychotic ngumntu or delusions or hallucinations. And at 14, she was told umbi unamabele amakhulu by her mother, and that's one thing that killed her. She believed that, she internalized that, she thought of herself as umntu ombi. She made friends in her mind, and her friends were staying in her room. And she was 24. It happened when she was 14 and 24. It was 10 years. 24. She was 24 when I saw her. It happened when she was 14. So she's always had these friends, but they exist to her because they bring comfort.
Yeah.
So we do not just kill Golhlobo.
Sure.
Might kill you ngamagama endiwaqhaya kuwe. So ile section ile bubble, GBV is real. Then the last one, so is love. Thando is real. Hayi ke ndicula ke, yabona mos. Hayi ke geziya zakhe. Zonke they speak about her. A1 ndibhalele someone nayo. Kangoba usiya uchicha umdebele. Siya wanted that song, and he begged me, "Brother, ngicela undiphele ngoma." Ndithi, "Man, inike lo sisi le ngoma." The idea was that ndandimvecula lo sisi, and I was like, I wish she could sing le ngoma. So let me write this song. You understand? For her. I don't know what happened. And binalaka yento ba abantu ba mhlambe I'm taking, because I've written isenglo sisi ndithetha ngayo benisithi ngoku enye ingoma ndiyenzele yena. I think she's going to do, if she agrees to do, she's going to do 8 of my original songs. And she particularly liked this one, because she relates to it. It speaks to izinto azibonileyo that she's seen about the experience. And she even cried when the first time she hears this song, what Nkumbuza something ngale ngoma. Uba this is that have happened in my life. And I was like, maybe and that's why it's lap. And when you will say it better because of a first-hand experience. Yeah. You understand? So the last part speaks to Utando. How love is one of the tools that we should use as a roller skate or a skate sport. Because as we're not going to stop, we're going forward. But in our kuyo Lutando and a whole lot of other things as Fodisha under Utando. It could be peace, it could be Putlisana, development, but Utando should be the main thing for us. Chapter 13 of Corinthians speaks more of Utando and what love is. So ndigqibela sakulonda ndiqale get relationship erongo, ndaza nge-appreciation of, ndaza nge-GBV and how it actually kills abantu. But we also have a solution. If we can start
Yeah.
Loving ourselves, then love abanye abantu, then
I can't wait. So the sipa.
yeah, hayi mamela wena izitori ungabi nawari, mamele nje izitori ezithethwayo phaa. Into ezizawuthethwa wenzawuthetha.
So, Deborah, I want to know, when it's all said and done, when you like, you know what, Ngoku, I've done my part, I've lived my purpose, I can rest and go to Dubai and chill. Umculo wami is out there and people are healing from Wona. When is that point for Wena? Like, what's the ultimate dream?
Angikho sure ke ngale question yakho, but ndiyakuva. Ubona ivi question xa ungayazi ba ngephi impendulo. Okay. Because now awuzazi ba uyaphi, but uyayazi uyaphi.
I know.
Andazi ba yenzi sense. Uyayazi ba uyaphi. But ayizuphela pha. One of the things endla ngoyithetha is that angizoba ngutamkhulu waba kwi-old age home. Ndizoba ngutamkhulu wathi sayodlala kuyo. Sayodlala pha ekhaya. For years I'm sazojema apha. So noba ndizawudlala ephi. One of the main things musically, I need to be I'm gonna go back ndiyokwenza piano again. I need to be a jazz pianist. I will most definitely do more of ingoma ukombela African. I love
Thank you.
African. I need to uyibalisa ngendlela engenye indlela kwipiano. Also play bass. The nice thing about being a multi-instrumentalist, which I am not, abantu abazi multi-instrumentalist, Bongani, gama lo wam,
You are.
is that it gives you more opportunities to work with abantu abaninzi. You will go there, work as a guitarist or as a flutist, and he's gifted like that. And we gift ebantwini kakhulu. Yeah, one of my inspirations here, no Bongani. So,
Igorha.
yeah, igorha. So, I think one of the things to do with piano and do nezinye instruments, but fuse psychology, because I learned psychology at school with music. To try to get something in Gayazi. I'm hoping to have an NPO where we will do. Remember, I did Paseka metric, so I had to redo. Where we will do get an opportunity from abantu who are able to assist abantwana to do maths, to do science, to do so that abantwana bafunde, because the world esikulo requires, unfortunately, a system yethu yalapha South Africa. Indlela eyenziwe ngayo, it requires that umuntu afunde ayofunda then ayophangelela someone. But we need indawo where abantu are then able to see themselves before bafike pha. So if I'm doing standard 6, umuntu athi, no, I'm going to be a musician or I'm going to be a business person. Yes, I'm going to go to school, but isikolo is a formality. All of these things zawuzenza ngokwami. I think ezinye education systems zangaphandle, because you'd find abantu abakhayo, abantu abaziplumbers, abantu abathini ngabanye abantu, because
they are being taught for
bazicreatele imisebenzi
for
ngokwabo.
themselves.
So kule NPO yam ndifuna low timing yento bana you are enough, and with everything onayo you can do more than you can imagine. So that umuntu efika kuloo ndawo, when they are ready, they go out there, because remember, they will multiply themselves. Ngezinto ababezabe bezenza le nto uyenzayo.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, you multiply yourself ngezinto zenzayo ebantwini ezibavisa kamnandi. Kumnqweno wam, so NPO to do more for music. And veli xhego elingazuhlala e-old age home elizawuza apha. But ekupheleni kosuku, I want to be part of that community, not for me, to be part of that community that says, tini generations ezisemva kwethu, it's a personal chooser into bana I'm not gonna do anything ndizawuba liginza ndenza umzekelo. And I'm sorry for using lo magama. Ibe nguye umuntu othi mna ndizawuzenzela le nto, because opportunities were provided and izinto bebesiya kuzo free. Or one of the other things I learned papa lam ndithetha nkosikazi yam. Ekhona ndawo yiclinic qala apha ngasemadlingos kwesa space. I see library kulaa ndawo.
Amen.
I see library zithu mosezandawo zimeso because kukho izindlu so library interconnected so there's one part nendawo i-computer ntontoni where like umuntu ufuna ukwenza i-CV they just go they get their 30 minutes for free 30 minutes because kukho abanye abantu abamileyo yenza i-CV yakho ikhona i-template ufika and then you print you go you are done but i-library with real books with real or not South African stories or African history and a whole lot of other things as called. So that if umntu chooses noba yena akazuzenza izinto akazenzi because akafuni not azikho akafuni ukuya I'm not khona anzuye library akho need ba mandiye pha akho need ba mandiye ku Ekhaya sessions akho need noba mandokwenza poetry akho need noba mandozoba because spaces zozoba na if kukhona umuntu ogood onjengalo mfa besenza pha then uzoba khona to guide abantwana because uyayazi ba of my time I need to give you 3 hours 2 times a week I'm not getting paid because abantu abanamali but something comes of it because I produce abantu abathile and into abakwazi unika yona abazanika yona kumnqwena
Deborah, thank you so much for honoring this.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hey, good Caesar.
Hey.
But you finally came.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Zonke izinto zizakwenzeka.
Yeah.
Because I don't think umntu could have an idea and then ivele iphelele apho ekubeni idea. Amandla sinawo makhulu kakhulu. Ubawo nezinyanya zethu zizawusenzelela. Siyofika apho kumele basifike khona.
Hey man sidlule wena hey.
Qabela sky is not the limit. Qabela ngapha.
I limit city because we limit ourselves. Yeah.
Igama lam ndinguvuyiseka Maguga. This is Bongani Malahle. Utabora Bongani umculi. And these are Ekhaya conversations right here on Ekhaya sessions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Something asenibone kwakhona ngelinye ixesha. Siyabulela.
Watitielu unonkala ngasemlanjeni